got a call coming in. I'm gonna answer.
Is this Alessio?
Yes, this is. Who's speaking? What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create an outbound calling agent that calls your leads as soon as they fill out a form on your website. So this is good to retain those leads instead of say you get a lead and you don't call them in the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even an hour, or sometimes people don't even call them within the day. That's where you can lose interest and people are not interested anymore in whatever you have to offer them. And this basically helps that whole process so you don't miss out on those engaged leads. So let me show you my setup here. So we're using Retail AI. First thing, what we have is structuring our prompt. So we're starting our prompt with a role and persona, which is important. So it has a personality. This is Chloe, a friendly, engaging AI sales booking agent. Boom, and then the objective. You're on an outbound call with phone number, and then we fill this variable with a phone number, whoever it's calling, because the outbound reason. Your job is to convert interested leads, and yeah, so we get the skills. We got their skills there, their guidelines, boom, everything, and then the call flow and the steps. This is basically how I have it, and then we got the leads information. So right here is important. You get all their information. So we get their first name comes up as whatever their first name is from your CRM. And as you can see, this is a multi-step prompt. I decided to do this because I wanted to have it's pretty simple. Just one intro stay where it answers all their questions, anything they have. They have questions for they can answer through a knowledge base. And then also you have right here pricing. This will go into pricing. I do have it in my knowledge base, but I found that sometimes it gives me issues. So I decided to make a whole node just for pricing. What this connects to is this connects to our Notion page. So we have a Notion page here, and let's start it out. So basically, what happens is someone fills out a form. I have my system going to not started. Then it'll create their new page here. And then once 10 minutes goes by, then they send them an email. This is automatically triggered through an automation in the back end. And then after, I would say, like 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to put them in pending call. This will now wait, and my automation triggers every 10 minutes. So once it's put into here, I'll say in 10 minutes, it will call the lead. Once it calls a lead, it will move them to call in progress. And then if they don't answer, it'll put them into no answer. But if they do answer, after the call, it will see exactly, it'll gauge, okay, what was their interest? Did they ask the call back? Were they not interested? Is it unresolved? They don't know right now at the time, or are they interested? So you got all these statuses here. And what's cool is this callback system works. So if they say to call back next week, it will call them next week at the time that they said. Callback is also actually for people that do not pick up and you want to redial them. It'll call them back, and it'll do it on it'll know to call them, let's say 2 days later, and I'll show you exactly how we can do that. Okay, so right here, this is my setup for when I get a new lead on my website. So we get a new lead. Let's say someone fills out a form. It's going to send us a webhook. It's going to send us all the information through this webhook, and it's going to say, hey, you got a new lead. This is all the information, and it's pushing all the information here. It creates a new database inside of our CRM. So it's going to create like a new contact basically with their name and all their information that they filled out on the form. And then it's going to search rows. This is specific for my business. I have it running where it searches all the dates because it's a service business. So it's going to search all the dates and see if we're available that day. And if it is, beautiful, we got to put them in available. If not, it's going to send us a Slack message saying, hey, this date is filled, and then put a draft email to the person that filled out the form. So boom, say if they're available, it's going to add it inside of a Google spreadsheet. And then we're going to have 250-second delay. Depending on the package they choose, it'll send them an email. It'll update that database and say, hey, we sent them an email. So it's going to just change the status from not started to sent email. Then it's going to wait 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. And then it will go here and update the database again to move them into call pending. And as you can see, call pending here is, like we said, if they get pushed into this status, then it will go to give them a call. So I can grab any of one of my leads here and put them into call pending, and it will start to call them. Okay, now let's get into the fun part. So this is now where the AI agent will actually call the lead. So what will happen here is every 10 minutes, it's going to check my Notion page and it's going to see for any updates. And if any updates equal, so pending call, if it equals that, boom, it's going to push the information through and it's going to format their number just so we get the right formatting to call them. And then it's going to format a date for them. And then it's going to set the variables for them, like split their last name and their first name. And then what I'll do, I'll send them a text message saying, hey, we're going to call you in 2 minutes. Just a heads up. I found this kind of helped for people that do want to talk over the phone instead of just calling them randomly. So they know, hey, this phone number that's calling me, it's for this. That works. And it also has a safety. It's like I would say more so security reasons for myself as well. I know you can reach out to leads that fill out a form, but there's a lot of restrictions on outbound calling with AI. So I'm saving myself even more just by saying, hey, you can opt out of it. We're giving them options. We're not spamming them. So what happens here is we send them a message and then we wait another 120 seconds, which is 2 minutes. And then it's going to check after that 120 seconds. It's going to check, say, hey, you know what? Check the database. And if they opted out, then don't push them through and do not call them. But if it's false where, they didn't opt out, then you're going to make a call. Boom, it makes a call. This is our settings here. Then once that happens, it's going to move them into call in progress. And then it's going to wait 50 seconds. And then it's going to check after 50 seconds. It's going to check, okay, did they answer or did they not answer after 50 seconds? If they didn't answer, it's going to know, it's going to say, okay, hey, they didn't answer, so I'm going to call them back again. And you can see a filter here. If it equals to no answer, then that means it's going to call them again. And this process repeats. It's going to move them back into call progress. And therefore, same thing, wait 50 seconds, then check again. If they still did not answer, it's going to say, you know what? We're going to put them into callback. We're going to call them back another day. And right here, as you can see, this is the settings for that. And it's going to call them from a random number from 10 to 20 in military time. And boom, this is what happens. You get the start time of when to call them back. This is 2 days from now, as you can see. And then the date last called, so it's today's date. And boom, that's our automation process to follow up on the lead right as soon as they filled out the form. All right, this is the extra interesting part. This is after the call has been successfully made. So this is for when the call has been successfully made, or if they didn't pick up the phone. This determines everything. So as you can see here, we're pushing the information from Retail AI with the webhook, and we're going to tell it, okay, after the call, what happened? So after the call, we have a filter here saying call analyzed. So it's going to wait for the call analyzed status, and then it will push through the information. If they did not have any variables, which was in my CRM, so say a random number calls my agent, it'll talk to them, but it won't know their name, it won't know their phone number, it won't know anything. So what happens here is it's going to say, hey, you know what, this person wasn't in our CRM, and it's going to send me a message saying, hey, in my Slack, it's going to say, hey, this guy or this person was not in your CRM. If they were in the CRM, it pushes through here and it actually searches them by name and email. And then here we have times called. So it's going to be times called +1 because we called them another time if they're entering this automation. If they don't answer, here's our filters here. We can say, okay, if the disconnection reason equals voicemail reached, that means they didn't answer. So it's going to update their status to saying not answered. If they do answered, what happens here, this is cool. So this is going to be an AI agent that basically takes your call and the call transcript and the call seconds, user sentiment, everything, and it's going to base it and give it these labels depending on the call. Not interested, interested, invoice, callback, unresolved. And this matches the statuses in our CRM. So now, boom, once the call is interpreted, the AI agent will push it through one of these filters. So say if the call went good and they're interested, it's going to calculate that and it's going to put interested. And then we got our filter here that says if it equals interested, then you're going to go on this route. And boom. So update. It's going to update their database. It's going to send me a Slack message. It's going to then create an email for the person they were just on the phone with saying, hey, great conversation. I heard you wanted to book for next week. Let's talk, blah, blah, blah. And it'll grab all the information from the call and just give them a follow-up email right after. And then it'll put it and it'll create it and it'll put it right in our drafts for me. So now I just have to go and review and click send if it's good, edit it if I need to, and boom, that's it. All right, let's watch this work in real time. I'm going to put it right in call pending here, and now we're going to wait until I get the call. So let's run this follow-up scenario here. Boom, and it's going to find my Notion page. Now it's going to calculate everything, and look, now I should be receiving a call right here. So we got a call coming in. I'm going to answer.
Is this Alessio?
Yes, this is. Who's speaking?
Hi, Alessio. This is Chloe from Selfie Booth, Toronto. I hope you're doing well. I noticed you requested a quote for your birthday event on September 26th, 2025, and I wanted to follow up to see if you have about 30 seconds to chat about it.
Honestly, right now would be a little bit busy for me. Could you call me back tomorrow by any chance?
Of course. I totally understand. When would be a good time for me to call you back tomorrow?
Maybe like let's say 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Thanks for your time, Alessio. I'll call you back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. So boom, you just saw that work. Everything just worked smoothly. And as you can see, if we go back here, our system did run, and I did pick up on the first call. So it put it in call progress. It checked, it waited 50 seconds, and then it checked, okay, did this guy pick up? And I did pick up, so it did not give me a second call. Now let's see exactly what's happening on the back end. So after the call has been done, it's found me in the CRM. It added an extra call. So say I had 5 calls before, and it's updated now. I have 6 calls. It interpreted the call and it said, okay, what happened here? And as you can see, I said callback, right? So now my actual agent said, hey, let's label it as callback. And what it did was now it made the callback date. So it's going to interpret the date that it should call me back at. It's going to pick the time that I said, and then it's going to update my Notion with the callback date and time and give you a summary, and then send me a Slack message on my phone as well, and then create an email. So as you can see, everything is automated, and I just got a Slack notification on my phone. So as you can see here, this is my Notion page. It says here, hey team, this is the lowdown with Alessio. Boom. It just gave me the call summary, gave me my mood. The outcome is call back, and call back at 3 o'clock tomorrow. If we check my Notion page, let's see this. So today's date is February 11th. So it says, look, callback date, February 12th, because I said tomorrow at 3 p.m. That's 3 p.m. In military time. So now automatically it's going to call me back tomorrow at 3 p.m. and we'll talk about all the details. And lastly, you can see here, this is what it would put in my drafts. It says, hey, Alessio, great touching base with you today. But your birthday, boom, I'll follow up with you at 3 p.m. tomorrow. And it makes a little email for us. So I hope you guys got some insight and learned some stuff about my progress of how I contact my leads with AI agents. It's pretty crazy. I'm still blown away by all these agents and what they can do. And if you guys need this in your business, if you guys have a business that you think you would benefit off of having an AI just call your leads for you, you can feel free to message me, or I have my Calendly link there, so you guys can book a meeting with me and you can see exactly, and we can set this up for your business.